1994, Nintendo released the first image of the console, now called the Ultra 64, likely a reference to pre-video gaming Gunpei Yokoi-designed Nintendo products like the Ultra Hand and Ultra Machine. While this Ultra 64 was simply a prototype that was nearly 2 years away from release, it ended up being the final cosmetic form of both the console and cartridge. On January
1985, just as everything really hit bottom, Nintendo stood up and said they weren't going to take it anymore, and launched their own gaming console, the Nintendo Entertainment System, or NES. Everyone thought they were crazy.
All of a sudden, Nintendo came in.
16-bit sports strategy.
You can't do this on Nintendo. Genesis does.
16-bit sports moves.
You can't do this on Nintendo. Genesis
Does.
Genesis
Does.
Genesis Genesis does.
What Nintendo don't? The 16-bit Genesis system by Sega. Genesis does it all.
In the early and mid-1980s, Sega made numerous attempts at entering the home video game market, beginning with the SG-1000, released in Asia as well as officially announced in 1994, the PlayStation as we now know it is a 32-bit system based around a 33 MHz RISC processor, has 3 MB of RAM, one of which is dedicated to video, has a color palette of 16.7 million colors, and can push up to 360.
The PlayStation 2 had a lot to live up to when it was released in 2000. It was a follow-up to what was at the time the most successful console. Sony also really hyped up the PS2, which led to both high expectations and problems meeting demand at launch.
The shortages, the PlayStation 2 shortages, like think about that for a sec. Like, what are you talking about? There is a product that is like ultra cool that I can't go buy in the store. Why not?
Made its major U.S. press debut at the Summer Consumer Electronics Show in Chicago in early June of 1991. Attendees could play or watch game footage on giant projection screens of a number of early titles, including all 3 eventual launch games, plus Axelay, Super R-Type, and Super Ghouls and Ghosts.
Almost on consoles were playing 2D platformers, while PC gamers were treating themselves to the first mainstream 3D games like Wolfenstein 3D. And we started seeing more and more 3D on computers as consoles stayed pretty steadfast on 2D for the next few years. Wolfenstein 3D's.
We grew up in them.
Space Invaders, that was great. The games I really loved were Asteroids, Missile Command, and above all, Defender.
1985.
Super Mario Brothers 2 again, baby! Super Mario Brothers 2. Oh, it's still the king. Still the king after all these years. Game of the year goes to Super Mario Brothers 2. Super Mario Brothers 2, you bitch. King is back. Super Mario Brothers. And then, of course, you have Super Mario Brothers 2. Super Mario Brothers 2. Game of the year. Game of the year. Super Mario Brothers 2. Piece of shit. Super Mario Brothers 2 wins it again, baby. Once again, the champion. Once again. But next 3, though. That's gonna be the one.
Okay, so anyway, Battletoads on the NES. Put that down. Put it down. Drop it. You can't fucking play the game with me.
Why not?
Because it's not even a 2-player game.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not. Look, you see 2 players, press start. That's it. Alright, so anyway, the game begins, and how'd you do that?
I push start.
Oh, so it's arcade style. The second player has to push start to join in. Why not just a regular select screen like any other NES game? Speaking of which, the intro shows 3 toads, Rash, Pimple, and Zitz. Why such disgusting names? How about herpes, genital warts, and gonorrhea? Besides,
just as everything really hit bottom, Nintendo
officially announced in 1990.
The PlayStation 2 had a lot to live up to when it was released and
made it major US press debut at the Summer Consumer
We grew up in them.
mid-19
Hey fellas, I'm here with the new Mario 64. I've been hearing a lot of great things about this game. So, see, I don't remember the bridge spinning and shooting fire. Every time I come back and play this game, it's a new experience, okay? Like, I don't remember the many boulders being it's always the invisible guy, not the 100 boulders.
In 1994, Nintendo released the first